it's Al Johnson. Stop here.
Oh, g'day, Matt. How the hell are you?
Good. Good
Excellent.
to see you.
And Michael, what are you doing out here?
We're taking the Sandy 60 for a run. All Matt is.
Yeah, Michael's giving me the keys for the day.
Oh,
Have
wow.
a bit around a bit of the high country.
Mate, this is a fabulous area. I do know a few pretty secret spots we could take you to if you'd like.
Yeah, you probably know this area better than us. You know, Woods Point, everyone knows it, wants to get the photo here at the pumps, but yeah, you're going to show us some more stuff?
Are they good places or your favourite places?
These are great places, some of my favourites. I love this area.
Mate, yeah, we'd love for you to take it.
Only one deal. Let me have a go at that fantastic Sandy 60, eh?
Oh, Michael's only just giving me the keys this morning, but I reckon we
You
can.
haven't even had a go yet.
All right. Hey, twice as many cylinders. It should be fun.
Well, it definitely is, mate. It's a great thing, yeah.
Keys are in the ignition, my friend. Enjoy. Okay, moving off, guys. Ready to do some fun stuff. Ooh, I like this thing. This is cool. Absolutely love this area. It's magical. There's some great challenging stuff, but some awesome touring stuff and so much history. It's just amazing. Tell you what, Matt, how's the Suzi feel compared to the big cruiser?
You need to give it some revs compared to that big V8 diesel. Suzuki's so nimble on the tracks here, it just goes where you want it to point and it's just straight through. Feels like a lot of fun.
Turning right into Comet Flat, going down to the next river crossing if you want to check it out. Sorry, Michael. That wasn't my fault. What a beast this thing is. I love it. Woohoo! Righto, deploying low range and ready to go. Whoa. It might be called Mount Terrible, but this is a terribly capable truck. This is cool. The little Suzi's coming up behind. She's going to do a good job, I know. I can pull second. Look at that! We're on top of the world. We're just looking right down into the valleys over here. Wow. Woo!
That Land Cruiser looks like it's idling up this hill. So easy.
This is just a beautiful drive. Absolutely gorgeous. But that valley, blue sky, fire tower to look forward to. What a beautiful day out.
Yeah, this is what the high country's all about, these big steep hills. It's even more special doing it in the little Suzi. It just loves it.
I am enjoying the 60 though, I must admit. Mr. Matt, you are ready to rock and roll for the next section. Off you go. We are now doing downhill, very steep downhill as you can see, and we are literally walking down here and we are not touching the brakes. How is that? We're in low range second gear with a thumping dirty great big V8 diesel engine, and that has got massive compression braking, and that is the best way to go down deep steep hills, is using the compression braking.
And something that shows the difference between these two vehicles once again. The Suzuki's much lighter, but it's got a petrol engine with much less compression, lower compression. So I'm needing low range first gear to get down the hill. And once again, no foot on the brake, just crawling all the way down. Beautiful control.
Well, you've got massive reduction gears in this thing too, which helps. But my God, has the engine got superb compression braking. It is wonderful.
Crawling up and down hills, that's what the high country's all about. And it's on days like this with the sun shining, it's warm outside, that's when you really appreciate it and love it. What about you, Al?
Love the high country. It's probably my most favourite part of Australia, although there's some other very beautiful bits in the other states. But the high country is my back garden. I live in Mansfield, so I can go and play here whenever I've got time, and that's very often. And I never get sick and bored of it. It's always changing and challenging. So the Victorian High Country gets my #1 stamp of approval for a great place to play.
Yeah, it's one of the few places you can come and spend the whole week in low range, because you're just crawling up and down all day. Al, it's been a pretty good day today. Good day of driving. Cheers, mate.
Thank you, Matt.
Most enjoyable to catch up with you and go for a drive in the high country. But mate, tell you pinched that 60 series off me first thing this morning. I was looking so forward to getting out in it, and you didn't give it back all day.
Well, I did like it a lot.
I'm not complaining. I had the Suzuki. It was pretty good.
You've
too.
done all right too.
Yeah,
Look, a lot of fun driving that 60. It brings back bucket loads of memories from the 1980s, what it was like up here when I first started forward driving.
Yeah,
Piece of history.
Things have changed a lot, haven't they?
They have indeed. A lot more people up here nowadays, roads, signs and all sorts of things. But tell you what, all the lovely things about a 60, that beautiful diesel sound, the torque,
Yeah, look, it's not too bad. I think the way it's set up is pretty good.
It's actually come up remarkably good. Modern day stuff underneath it.
Really well.
It is a credit. It is an absolute credit to people. It's done a great job. Yeah.
It feels tight. It's quiet. It gets along beautifully. It's a really good thing up in these high country tracks.
It is fantastic. That 60s piece of history that works. It worked then and it works now.
It is,
which is great. Yeah, I've had a ball.
Yeah. No, I was enjoying watching it from behind too. Just watching the way it works. You see the leaf springs working, the axle move, all those things.
It's good.
The lines you pick up the hills.
I love
trying to learn something off you.
Yeah, I love the sound of it too. It
does.
Awesome.
It bellows.
Yeah, it's a beast.
Yeah.
It makes you feel like a Norse god. It's fantastic. That power.
But really, the high country is all about climbing steep mountains.
It is, isn't it?
Once we started climbing there up Moonlight Track, that was just amazing.
Well, that Moonlight Spur track that goes up to the top of Mount Terrible is a ripper track named after Captain Moonlight the bushranger, which has got such history to it. But I just love that track. It's one of my favourites. It's got views, it's got steepness, it's got big angles and things, and it's got great traction, so it's actually relatively safe. Yeah,
it's so scenic. You're going up, and even if you're looking back in the rear view mirror, you can see what's the valley behind you as you're climbing.
And the view overlooking over Eildon, isn't it? Dropping in an aircraft.
Yeah, once you get over the top.
I know, fantastic.
Yeah, the track's Mount Terrible. It's always spectacular up there. We got there at the perfect time because the sun was going down over Eildon. You can see it all lovely down there.
I know.
Yeah. Driving your little Suzuki, that didn't struggle at all.
No, it goes well, doesn't it?
Yeah, like you guys were chugging away in your big Land Cruisers and stuff, and this is buzzing along behind you.
You know, you don't have to buy a brand new four-wheel drive and spend all the money to enjoy the high country. You can have an old 60 and fix it up, little Suzuki, and you can still have an absolute ball.
Yeah. Anyone can have a go and do it and be amazed by it, as we have been.
Yeah.
Tell us a bit more about Seriously Suzi.
Well, Seriously Suzi was always designed as a business to try and even the odds for Suzuki owners, because every major company does all the big stuff like bull bars, diff locks, suspensions and everything else, but often they don't look at the Suzuki stuff. So we're trying to even the odds up. So we do everything basically to set these vehicles up to make them work as well as they can. And that includes everything from like underneath the car to engine conversions, storage compartments inside the car, pretty much everything. We're a small business, there's only 2 of us in the business. We only work 3 days a week because I'm semi-retired now. But we do it not to make money, for the love of the product. We just love doing this, and we love getting people to get the best out of their little cars. And the smile on the face, as I'm sure you would appreciate, makes it all worthwhile.
I've been having that smile all day myself. But
it's a good one.
Plenty of passionate Suzuki owners out there.
Oh, there is indeed.
Whether they're old Suzukis, because like Suzuki 4-wheel drives have been around as long as this 60 series.
Yep.
And now the new Jimny, bringing a lot of new people into the fold.
A whole new type of person. Whether it's an old 3-cylinder 2-stroke or a modern day one of these, we do all the bits and pieces for all those cars and everything in between. And I reckon I've been told I've got more parts in stock than Suzuki Australia. That's an exaggeration, of course, but I've been told that,
You're obviously doing a great job, because as I said earlier, I've driven standard Suzukis around the mountains here. Driving that car is a lot of fun. It's fun for fun's sake.
It is indeed. Every time I jump in it, I get a big smile on my face.
What was good, being Tail End Charlie, I was watching you, learning stuff along the way, but you were sharing all those tips on the radio as well as we're going along, what you should do for tyre pressures, getting your car ready, all that stuff. It's good to learn from a master.
Well, look, I guess I've been playing around for a long time, and one of the simplest, cheapest things you can do to improve your four-wheel drive and make it more capable off-road is the right tyre pressures. And I don't know why, but so many people seem scared to let their tyres down, and it's a fallacy. You don't pop them off the bead unless you drive like a raving idiot at high speed. And we're not going at high speed, we're in low range. And wow, what a difference it makes to the ride in the car too.
It does. Let's just go back and have a look at what we were saying over the radio there, because it was good chatter.
Oh, it was good chatter. We always chat on the radio, Now, you might think it's silly to let your tyres down, but it actually isn't. Lower tyre pressures mean the tyre will mould over the corrugations and ruts, and it will also give you massively more traction and also make the ride a lot smoother. Now obviously the catch is you don't drive too quickly, but we're in low range in a tractor here, and it doesn't go quickly in low range at all, so there's no issues. We're running lower than normal pressures, about 20 odd, 24, and that is, for a heavy car, quite a lot of reduction. The little Suzuki goes down to about 12 to 15. It weighs about a tonne. So lower tyre pressures are dependent on the weight of your vehicle and the sort of terrain and the speed you're travelling at. But the important thing to remember is, do let your tyres down always. Road pressures don't work.
Just crawling up these hills, no wheel sprint at all, not needing the lockers, and no matter how steep the hill is, there's no loss of traction. And it's comfortable as well. You don't get that jitteriness you get on road pressures in these sort of conditions.
And we're not wrecking the track. That's the other really important thing too. We're doing a really nice job of looking after it.
Yeah, no wheel spins, better for your car, better for your track. As exhilarating as all those climbs are, looking out over the bottom of the things, you're going up these mountains, what goes up must come down.
Absolutely.
And that's what brings us down to these beautiful campsites like this by the riverside. The high country is full of them. But what became evident as we were driving these two different cars, very different vehicles.
Oh yes.
Is the different way you use the engine braking.
Yeah, absolutely.
For coming down hills.
Well, that thing actually has downhill descent control in it, along with all the other magic electronics.
Yeah.
I don't use it because what it does is it actually just uses the brakes to slow you down. What I was doing in the 60 was using no brakes at all, using totally engine braking. And the beauty thing about that is it doesn't heat up your brakes when you go to go water at the end. It doesn't cause any stress on the system in case you do need to stop, and you can use it continuously. But you've got to have the right ratios and you've got to have the right compression, and that's where that diesel is absolutely spectacular.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't realise the difference you get when engine braking from a diesel to a petrol engine, a big engine like the V8, or a small four-cylinder engine.
Correct.
And the gearing in the car makes a huge difference.
Well, that's the other thing. That diesel thing has got a massive low range in the gearbox and the transfer box, which helps even further.
Yeah, those reduction gears.
Those
really
reduction gears make a monstrous difference.
Yeah, going up and down.
Well, the other big thing too, which people often ask me about, is automatic versus manual.
Yeah.
Now, old automatics would actually run away quite badly downhill. Modern day automatics are pretty good. You can lock it into first gear manually in the sports mode or whatever, and usually it'll hold and do the same thing as compression braking like in a four-wheel drive with a manual transmission.
It was another thing I loved about today too. Most of the time these days we are driving automatics.
Yep.
So many people got automatics out. Both these cars are manual.
Yes, it brings it back to the control, doesn't it?
I love
yes,
it.
I love it too.
You're interacting with the cars and the bush and the conditions. It's changing all the time. And here we are down here on the flat country by the river. Let's go back and have a look how steep those hills were.
And they were steep too.
Yeah, definitely. So Alan, this hill looks a bit loose and gnarly up here, a bit of a rut in it. Might be time to employ the air lockers you've got in the little Jimny here.
Awesome, looking forward to it. I've got my traction aids on here, so let's go.
Mate, there's no stopping this little Jimny. She just wants to go and go.
That was fantastic, a great climb, did it beautifully. This thing just walks down, it's just so stable and so reliably strong, it's amazing. Rear diff lock on, I'm going to go first gear low range on this and really crawl it.
How slow is it?
Very!
That's pretty amazing, isn't it? Just how steep it is.
Oh, and what these cars can do.
Yeah, but what really helps to get them up and down those hills is using low range almost all the time when you're here. It's one of the things I like about the high country is you can be driving around here for a week or more down here in low range the whole time.
Exactly. Now, one of the really important things is that thing, when you put it into low range, you know it's in low range. You had to push a stick down, you had to move it, and you can physically feel it engage. The 60 is exactly the same. You know exactly when it's in low range. My worry is a lot of people buy these modern day cars with push wonderful electronic buttons. They push the button, think they've got low range, and they haven't. And I've seen quite a few transmissions cook because of that.
Unfortunately, modern cars is what we've got to live with. They've got dials and buttons like that. But there is, as you say, there's a sequence you've got to do. You put it in neutral, push the button, wait for the light to come on the dashboard.
Wait for the light, don't be impatient.
And then you can put it back into gear and
then you've got proper low range and it's going to work.
And go out and enjoy this great place.
Do the stuff, exactly.
Tell you what has been good on this trip too, all these cars got great tyres on them. We haven't had a puncture at all, haven't had to think about them.
Yeah.
Quality tyres are very important, and the right tyres.
Absolutely. Look, it's not just about tyre pressures, it's about the right tyre design, the right sidewall rating, and obviously, although your car comes with brand new tyres when you buy it, those tyres are largely just really set up for the road. They're not really off-road tyres.
And it's not all about having the biggest, boldest, chunkiest looking tyre. You want one that's not going to let you down.
Exactly.
Mate, you've been hogging the Land Cruiser all day today.
I have a bit, haven't I?
You have, and I've still got to go and do a drive out myself after I've missed out on today. Am I going to get the keys back somehow?
I reckon tomorrow morning you can have them back, my friend. Welcome. I've had a great day and I'm sure you have too.
I've had a good time too. It's always a pleasure travelling with you, Alan.
Good on you, mate. All the best.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Cheers.